The 2022 politics is seeming actually taking a toll on so many people in this country, especially top political figures. And right now, there's so much happening in terms of now, in Swahili they say vuta ni kuvuta between former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and the Deputy President William Ruto regarding the new scandal in town, that is the dam, of course, in Elgeyo Marakwet. And right now in studio, I'm joined by a gentleman, Mr. Solomon Kuria, who will be taking us through what is really happening between the two, or of course, what we know about the situation as far as the politics in Kenya is concerned. After the handshake, things are changing, and the president seemed to be fighting corruption big time, just protecting his legacy. Karibu sana Bwana Solomon.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
All right, now, as I've mentioned, seems like there's a disconnect between so many things. And the two dams in Elgeyo Marakwet County has now sparked another fight between now the DP and the former Prime Minister. What do you think is the cause of all this? Because already we know there's a loophole in terms of now accountability, but there must be a problem somewhere.
I know it's wrong to mix the two issues. The fight between Raila Odinga and William Ruto, and the Kimwarer and Arror dams.
Yes.
Because on one side we are talking of the lost money. Then on the other we are talking of two ambitious men.
Yes.
I think we would rather focus on the money, because that is where Kenyans are losing. We saw two contradicting messages from one, the Deputy President.
Okay.
He said 7 billion has been lost. 7 billion is actually not lost, but 7 billion is the money in question.
Okay.
Then the following day, the CS, who was grilled yesterday for so many hours, told us that 20 billion actually was paid, and he gave a breakdown. Then yesterday, the Italian company that was contracted to construct the two dams applied for bankruptcy. So the change of events is what we should be focusing on. It is clear if the company has applied for bankruptcy and actually has written to the agencies that protect assets from being auctioned by the creditors, we have lost the money.
Okay.
So where is our money? That is the question. And I think politicians are trying to take advantage of this situation. You know, one side will say it is politics. Of course, those found culpable of stealing the money will say it is politics. Then the other side, that is the Raila Odinga, will say, now these guys are corrupt, because of course he has his ambitions for 2022.
Okay.
But the person who can give us the neutral ground is the DCI. And I believe that is why he questioned the minister in charge for all those hours. And I believe also the minister is going back there today to tell us where our money is. Let us not focus on any other issue, because that's what they do to us. They steal the money, then they start politics. They start politicking in funerals, churches, all over, telling us issues that we cannot understand. And I'm very sure before the end of this week, or probably next week, something else will come up.
Just to
that
cover
will cover
absolutely
the 21 billion that we are almost losing.
Now, something else, Bwana Solomon, there's a problem with some sort of truth here, because now when the CS says 20 billion and the Deputy President says 7 billion, there must be a problem. They're actually reading from two different scripts. So who is wrong, who is right here now?
I believe the person to even brief the president on the ongoings of the Ministry of Finance or the Treasury is Rotich. That's what I believe. Okay. So Deputy President could have acted from a point of misinformation.
Okay.
Maybe they had not held the cabinet meeting to know what are the ongoings. But I would like to know what will be his say now after Rotich came out and told us actually it is 20 billion.
Yeah.
That is in question. So I believe there's not much to worry about the DP. They have said things on the roadside.
Okay.
Roadside declarations. We have seen them that have not come to be. Both the president and the deputy president.
Sure.
But when they go back to the drawing board in the cabinet, they come out with something different. So I'm hoping He'll either come and tell us it is 20 billion or even more.
Yeah.
Because the accounting officer is the PS in the Ministry of Treasury.
Yes.
And the cabinet secretary must have consulted with him before coming out and saying it is 20 billion. So I tend to believe Rotich more than the DP.
Right now, the President, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, and of course Raila Odinga are closely working together. The fight is corruption.
Yes.
The Deputy President has been mentioned in this several times, and it seems like the President is kind of not really keen to talk to the Deputy President about this issue. Right now, I'm very sure CS Matiang'i, who now heads the CS department now, will be very, very keen to hear what is happening. But now, you've also realized the dismissal of Echesa from cabinet. So many things are happening right now, and Ruto seems to be like in some sort of fire. Do you think he has to maneuver his way out of this trouble? Because now Kenyans are feeling there must be a gap somewhere. Some things are not being told to the Kenyans out here. People are hungry for information, but things are not being told. Echesa being fired, and Deputy President actually, for the first time, is not up in arms to safeguard his close ally. What is happening here? I
believe the appointing authority in the Republic of Kenya is President Uhuru Kenyatta. What the Deputy President can do is suggest a name, suggest a person. But the person who appointed Echesa is President Uhuru Kenyatta. Okay. And he's the one who has fired him. And let's speak honestly. You know,
but
from a very honest point of view.
Echesa is Ruto's ally. There's a reason why he's there, because of the Deputy President.
It doesn't matter. In the very same cabinet, they are allies to Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
It doesn't mean when they don't do their job, they won't be fired. And when they are fired, Uhuru will not protect them.
Okay.
You know, Echesa was given a chance, just like a young person.
So is it underperformance?
It is purely, you know, you can't ask such a question, brother.
No.
Look at this guy.
Actually, but Bwana Solomon,
I would like
you know, politics plays in so many different ways.
Yes, exactly. Now, I know where you're coming from.
When you talk about underperformance, when you talk about, even for him, Mr. Echesa doesn't even know why he was fired.
I would like to tell you this. If there's one cabinet secretary who doesn't even contribute a thing in the cabinet meetings, it has been Echesa. All
right, we're taking a short break now, but when we come back, Bwana Solomon will be giving us more details about this issue of Echesa being fired, because for him, he was fired because of non-performance. But there's so many things happening, and even the political rhetorics in the country say there's no way he could have been fired because of underperformance. All that's after a short break.
Jamaa.
Welcome back to Morning Live. Right now, our sign language interpreter is Mr. Risia Washira. Now, when you talk about Echesa being fired from cabinet, but Solomon Kuria right here in studio says it was purely underperformance. There's so much that is happening in the political scene, and with me, from where I'm seated as a sports journalist, we know what happens behind the scenes. And when you say underperformance, it's kind of unfortunate because he's done one or two things. The things he can't control, for example, building of the stadia, purely the central government, and he has to consult the president and his deputy for that green light. Sports Kenya, in charge of building stadia in this country, is very instrumental in making sure this goes on. The CS has nothing at all to do with that. Bwana Solomon, back to you now. You were confident in saying about underperformance. That's the reason why Echesa was fired.
You know, let's go right from what Echesa has been doing. At some point, I said that Echesa's mission in the cabinet is Luhya unity. You know, Echesa was ever in Western Kenya talking about Luhya unity. We have never seen him talking about the policies being developed to cater for sporting issues in Kenya.
I think I'll correct you there. He has talked about that in public.
No, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. There is talking and then there is talking passionately
okay.
about it.
Those are two different things.
The passion, yes, the passion in him was in politics. And particularly the Luhya politics.
Okay. Now, he dared the Right Honorable former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to fire him.
Yes.
That was conspicuously out here.
Yes.
And so many people are looking at it you see, like, it came back to haunt him. Because now the handshake, there's a way Raila also has some role to play in government.
Yes.
Moses Kuria in his Twitter handle said, Jubilee government is actually done and dusted. Now, what can you say about this?
I don't think they are right, but to some extent they are, because some of the things we are seeing happening concerning the relationship between Uhuru and Raila. But the appointing authority in any ministry is Uhuru Kenyatta, like I told you. So Echesa saying that Raila should fire him was politics, purely. Because he wants to have a share of the Luhya vote. And for him to do that, he must, try to create a rift between the Luhyas and Raila. But at the same time, you remember where he came from. He was the leader of the youth in the ODM party.
Absolutely.
So he joined government. So you don't expect Raila to go slow on him. So of course, Raila has some influence. We cannot run away from that. And Echesa was fearing that. I believe at some point he was being told, guy, you are not doing the right thing. But then he thought it is Raila going behind him. But actually we can see, even as all the Kenyans, I know you are a national TV and you are able to get the feedback from the Wananchi.
Sure.
When that day, when the reshuffle was done, you could clearly see that people came out in their millions to congratulate Magoha. And at the same time, they came out in their millions to congratulate the president for sacking Echesa, because they could not see anything happening from the ministry. People were sleeping, the players were sleeping on the floor. Their tickets were not paid. You see, he gave Sonko a chance to show off. We can't have
the jerseys, actually.
They were wearing a jersey in the name of
international event.
A national event, but the jersey was, dubbed Sonko. A national team.
Also, there's a problem also with the fact that now some national teams only appear during these important trips. The whole year, they're not seen anywhere. They're not training. They don't have stable federations. But they only appear when they want to go for these trips because they're invited. You get it?
Who is supposed?
Now, there's something called consistency in management. Federations have to have the books, the accounts, everything ready to show the CS that indeed this is what we've been doing the whole year. We've been training, and at least we need some token from the government to help us continue that training. But is it wise, for example, not trying to point fingers, for a team to appear during the 11th hour before a trip? The government needs to give us money. The government hasn't even budgeted for your uniforms, for your flight tickets, so many things. But now, a day before your travel, you appear at the office, up in arms. You need money to go for the trip. What is that's what I'm talking. That's a sports sector.
Yeah. But you told me you are a sports journalist.
Absolutely.
And I would like to know this. Is there any sports that doesn't matter?
Now, the thing is, consistency in management. You see, when a sports
who develops the policies to include all the sporting activities?
No.
It is the ministry.
Absolutely.
They budget. They should go to the ground, nurture the talents. And no, in badminton, we have a team, but we have never seen them participating, even in Olympics.
Yes.
But go and have an interview with those guys. They'll tell you where they meet every day, how they practice, and the number of proposals they have done to the ministry, and they have never been sponsored to get out of the country. I'll tell you, if you want to get us to go that direction, then we are going to come up with a list. Leave alone the Paralympic team that went to I don't know where. So I'd like to tell you that in Kenya, sports activities have never been taken serious. We are seeing members of parliament trying to play football, my friend.
Timbunge.
At the sijui devolution versus the
governors versus
I don't know what. Guys trying to joke around these sports. In Kenya, people have never treated sports as serious. And that's why
did the president actually?
That's why Amina Mohammed is in the Ministry of Sports today, and we are telling the president that is absolutely wrong. Why should Amina be in the Ministry of Sports? I mean,
Do you think she'll disapprove so many people here?
No. She has nothing to offer in the Minister of Sports.
Okay.
And it is wrong.
Does
actually,
she need advices? Does she need people to maybe catapult her efforts?
We need sportsmen to run sporting activities in Kenya. You know, like now you're saying you're a sports journalist. You have seen a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can offer, even in advisory. But if we have someone on top there at the ministry who is making decisions and her passions are elsewhere in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, why do you think that she's going to support sports?
Okay, some people are saying it's amalgamated with heritage and culture. That's why mostly she was actually put on that side. Now, P.S. Kaberia will actually now be handling these other issues on sports. Now, what do you think about that notion? Where
but who cares about the culture? Do you know? Do we have a contesting crowd for culture?
That,
do we have a contesting crowd for culture? Do we have like intercultural competitions?
Okay.
We don't have. What we have here, the main thing here is Minister for Sports.
Okay. Right now,
culture is just an additional
the
issue.
State House has a new formed cultural library headed by Madam Monira Mohammed.
Yes.
You see now, that's an angle that the country is taking very seriously. And you see,
and ignoring sports. Now that's the truth. That's the truth. I would like to give you three ministers. Balala. You know, Balala is so passionate about tourism.
Okay.
That's why he fits squarely in that ministry.
You're right.
Mushero was in Google before coming to head ICT.
Yes.
That's why you can see the passion.
Okay.
And it happened with Matiang'i too, ICT. Look at Magoha. He has been in the education sector for so long.
Okay.
All his passions will be in the Ministry of Education. Now you're bringing someone to head sports. I am telling you, they have never treated sports serious in this country.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Do you think it's an exit strategy for Amina very soon? That very soon she'll actually be leaving the post?
Actually, she should exit. You know, she should go home. She has done enough. Yeah, nothing to offer.
Okay.
No.
Something else. We've talked about HSR, we've talked about the sports ministry, we've talked about who is right, who can do this, who cannot do this. But kindly expound to us, what do you think about now the situation in Ruto's camp? Because already guys are saying he's preparing for 2022 elections with the money that is actually missing from these dam projects. Let's go back to these dam projects, because now it's a very important topic. As much as Murkomen, the senator of Elgeyo Marakwet County, coming up in arms about the procurement of towels, the contractors actually being given towels already. We know it's kind of very strange to have towels in a dam construction. We really don't know what towels will be doing. Maybe, do you know what towels will be doing in the construction of a dam?
I think it's, I don't know what I should say about the towels, but probably what I can see, three things. One, you have said the Deputy President is preparing for 2022 using the money from the graft proceedings. But I would say he has been preparing since 2013 up to now. He has been preparing, and he has never shied away from saying, I will be on the ballot. Number two, preparing with the graft money. I would say this. Immediately after Raila made those claims, those from Ruto's camp came out and said, you guys see, we had a parking in London for Kenya Airways that was sold by the Kenyattas. And then JKIA is being taken over by the Kenyattas. You see now, the topic will change. Ruto is campaigning with graft money. Okay. That is number one.
Okay.
So Ruto's camp now answers the other camp that is telling them that and says, Kenyattas are stealing from this. Now we are going to lose as Kenyans. I would say this. The only person who can tell us whether Ruto is using the corruption money to run his campaign is the DCI. Okay. Let us let those people do their job. And even so, the president, though we know he cannot be prosecuted, but he can be investigated even when he is in power. He said, if you have anything against him, go to Karura Forest. Go to the office next to Karura Forest and actually settle your issues there. So let the DCI do the job. Let him tell us why is the deputy president stealing from us. If he is, because we are going to lose it. Let me tell you, the president, I looked at him and I saw a man who is almost alone, because even his deputy, it can be so tricky for him to support him.
Okay.
Because it is like this. The president is saying, I'm fighting against corruption.
Okay.
Then Raila and the brigade and a number of people from Jubilee are telling him, now, you have to start with your deputy.
All right.
So the deputy has either to fight corruption or defend himself against the allegations.
Yeah.
So the president is purely alone in this
Okay.
fight against graft. And I don't know whether the Kenyans are bold enough to come out.
All right.
Whether the young people of this nation are bold enough to come out and fight against corruption.
Let's hope maybe people will come out, but you see there's some sort of fear again because you can't just come out without a plan and all those things. Thank you so much for coming to studio today, giving us your insight about what is happening in the country. But let's hope we'll find solutions to this.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And again, we should always involve the young people.
Absolutely.
In
very,
everything
very,
that is
very,
happening
you're
across
very
the
right.
country.
You're very right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now,